Russia has threatened its close Arctic neighbors Sweden and Finland with military consequences if they join NATO. It came as Russia's invasion of Ukraine intensified today after a night of fighting in the capital of Kiev especially. Sweden and Finland are the two closest countries to Russia in the Arctic Circle. Finland and Sweden should not base their security on damaging the security of other countries, and their accession to NATO can have detrimental consequences and face some military and political consequences, Foreign Affairs spokeswoman Maria Zakharova said during a news briefing. The Foreign Ministry later reiterated the threat on Twitter. "We regard the Finnish government's commitment to a military non-alignment policy as an important factor in ensuring security and stability in Northern Europe," the department wrote. Finland's accession to NATO would have serious military and political repercussions. Vladimir Putin is widely believed to have attacked Ukraine after Western nations mooted the idea of the country joining NATO, over fears it could end up with a U.S. military presence on its doorstep. A similar move by Sweden or Finland could potentially provoke similar ire. U.S. intelligence officials are worried the Ukrainian capital of Kiev could fall by Saturday afternoon, CNN reported, with Russian troops entering the city in the early hours of Saturday morning local time. Ukrainian leaders want to join NATO, but Russia has been strongly opposed to the move. Both NATO and President Joe Biden have said the United States would strongly defend the 30-member alliance should the Kremlin launch an attack. Biden met virtually with fellow NATO members on Friday morning who reassure Eastern allies they will be protected as Russian troops prepare to enter Kiev. Amid reports the Kremlin is gunning for him, Zelensky had slammed the United States and its allies for leaving his country to fight alone. "Who is ready to fight alongside us? I don't see anyone," he said on Thursday night. "Who is ready to give Ukraine a guarantee of NATO membership? Everyone is afraid. We're defending our country alone. The most powerful forces in the world are watching this from a distance," Zelensky said. After the meeting, NATO Secretary-General Jens Stoltenberg said the 30-nation organization will send parts of the NATO response force and elements of a quickly deployable spearhead unit to the alliance's eastern flank. It's the first time the force has been used to defend NATO allies. "We are now deploying the NATO response force for the first time in a collective defense context. We speak about thousands of troops. We speak about air and maritime capabilities," Stoltenberg said. Meanwhile, the Kremlin offered to send a delegation to Belarus to negotiate with Ukraine but only under harsh conditions. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov said Russia was ready to send a delegation to Minsk. But Peskov made it clear that Russia expected Ukraine's denazification and demilitarization of Ukraine, meaning Kiev's capitulation. Some NATO nations are already taking defensive measures as Russian aggression grows. Lithuania declared a state of emergency Thursday after Russian President Vladimir Putin ordered troops into Ukraine. Lithuania borders Russia's Kaliningrad region to the southwest. NATO members Belarus is to the east, Latvia is to the north, and Poland is to the south. "We cannot take the luxury to be a discussion club," Lithuanian President Gitanas Nausėda said overnight at an emergency summit of European Union leaders held to impose a heavy price on Russia through sanctions. "We need to take action." The Baltic members have said the West should urgently provide Ukrainian people with weapons, ammunition, and any other kind of military support to defend itself, as well as economic, financial and political assistance and support, humanitarian aid. NATO began beefing up its defenses in northeastern Europe after Russia annexed Ukraine's Crimean Peninsula in 2014. Recently, some members have also sent troops, aircraft, and warships to the Black Sea region, near allies Bulgaria, Romania, and Turkey. Short-term, NATO has activated an emergency planning system to allow commanders to move forces more quickly. The Pentagon said Thursday that it is sending 7,000 troops to Europe in addition to 5,000 recently deployed personnel.